Tuesday, May 24th edition of the Carolina Weather Video. I'm meteorologist Matthew East here along with you. Warming trend underway. Let's start off with a look at a couple of the web cameras. Well, looks like the Avalon Pier web cameras dropped out on us, but the Beach Mountain Parkway cam on the right, 49 atop Beach Mountain. It's actually 39 in Boone right now as I cut the video, 61 in the Outer Banks. There at Kill Devil Hills. Your highs yesterday anywhere from the upper 60s to lower 70s for much of the Triad viewing area. A little bit warmer around the Charlotte region. Low and mid 70s at most spots. Really, it was a pretty delightful day. Low humidity still in place. Pretty nice conditions really over much of the region. Now, there were some showers in some spots. I'll show you yesterday's radar in just a moment. 73, the high there in Charlotte, 80 in Columbia yesterday, 71 in Wilmington, and 70 up in Richmond, Virginia. Temperatures right now primarily in the 50s. Then again, the cooler spots in the Piedmont, the foothills, some 40s mixed in, and there's your Boone temperature at 39 here on this Tuesday morning. There's yesterday's radar. Again, we did see a few showers out there here and there. They were more extensive the further north and east you went in the region. And your severe weather issues confined to the mid-Atlantic region yesterday in terms of the eastern U.S. as that low pressure continued to pull away. And there it goes, centered this morning a little east of New York, and there it goes, quickly exiting. Now, Big Ridge develops over the eastern part of the country, and your primary track of storm systems is back here in the Plains states. So some active weather days will continue back in the Plains. Here's today's severe weather outlook. A couple of enhanced risk areas, parts of Nebraska, down to Kansas and Oklahoma. Tomorrow's severe weather outlook, again, focused in the Plains states. And guess what? Thursday, again, looking at more severe weather issues, focused back in the Plains, where that primary storm track will remain. Radar quiet over the Carolinas over the past couple of hours. Again, as that low is up in the mid-Atlantic states, you still have some showers up that way here as this Tuesday morning is rolling along, but that low pressure is gone. It should be a very quiet weather day around the Carolinas today. A lot of sunshine. The warming trend very much underway. Look at the highs surging into the 80s in many spots across the region this afternoon. Now, as we get into tomorrow, the warming trend will continue. Maybe a few mountain showers or storms popping up, but even there, the chances of rain pretty low tomorrow. Highs well into the 80s. And then here we go Thursday. Now, some of the modeling, which I'll show you in a moment, kind of bites on chances of some scattered storms into the Piedmont. Futurecast is on that boat, too. I have not really wholeheartedly gone in with that scenario. I can't rule out an isolated storm in the Piedmont Thursday, but I'm still leaning toward a mainly warm and dry day. But thereafter, some question marks arise. All right, and it all kind of hinges around a coastal low pressure that's going to develop. I hinted at that in yesterday's edition of the video, and I'm going to spend some more time on it today. Coastal low will develop, and our weekend weather will hinge on exactly where that low pressure winds up tracking, how far inland it makes it. That'll be the difference in cool and wet weather versus warm and mainly dry weather. Let me show you the two model ideas here. This is the GFS computer model, and it is further west with that low pressure placement over the weekend, and so you wind up by later Saturday and then especially Sunday with a lot of wet weather across the Carolinas. In fact, look at these rain totals that really start to add up as you get deeper into the weekend. That's ending Sunday evening at 11 p.m. On the other hand, the European computer model keeps that low pressure a little bit further to the east, and so you wind up with the eastern parts of the Carolinas getting some showers or storms over the weekend, but not much west of I-95. There's your European computer model rain totals. Again, a lot of rain over in the eastern Carolinas this weekend, but not much further to the west. Let me kind of show you how this unfolds for us. All right, here's the 500 millibar chart from the European Valid this morning. There's that low pressure pulling away. Should go further out in time. Again, all the actions in the Plains states over the next several days. There's Friday, and then there's that low pressure developing. Now, what happens is this has its origins with some energy that is getting left behind by this trough. In fact, let me see if I can grab that for you here and show you exactly what we're talking about. Well, I may not have stuck that chart in there. I thought I did. Yes, I did not. It does not. Well, here we go. Yeah, here we go. So it gets left behind. This is all the way out at Thursday evening of this week. A little piece of energy gets left behind in the Bahamas, and that's what tries to roll back westward into the Carolinas. Now, again, on the European scenario, this is Saturday. Sunday, still mainly dry once west of I-95, and then eventually Monday, some better shower storm chances arrive. The Canadian computer model, pretty much the same as the European overall. This is Saturday, still pretty dry across the Carolinas. There's Sunday, low pressure popping. Still, once you get in west of I-95, not much happening. You get out to Monday, that low pressure approaching the coast, and it really wraps this up, which a lot of times the Canadian model does as it heads up toward the Outer Banks. Now let me show you the GFS model on the other hand. Today, high and dry. Tomorrow, pretty good. Now there's that chance of some scatter storms on the GFS trying to roll in Thursday. Again, I'm not entirely sold with that, but I can't rule it out. All right, here we go with Friday. Still mainly dry on the GFS, but thereafter, all right, this is Saturday morning. And then as you get toward later in the day, Saturday, some of that rain tries to move in with that coastal low. This is Sunday morning, and then there's Sunday afternoon, pretty wet scenario on the GFS. Monday, keep good chances of some rain around, and even Tuesday too, pretty wet on the GFS computer model scenario. Now again, I have not quite gone all in with that scenario yet. I have mentioned in my forecast on air today the chance of a couple of showers and storms over the weekend, but I'm still leaning more in that European and Canadian type of computer model camp, with a lot of the rain maybe staying in the eastern Carolinas. But it will all depend over the weekend on that track and that placement of that low pressure. We'll continue to adjust it as we go forward. All right, that is it for today's edition of the Carolina Weather Video. Everybody have a great day, and God bless.